Hello, sir. My name is Hitesh Chibbar and I belong to group number 3. Me, along with my three co-students, we'd like to present our presentation for the business decision making in reference to the company Rio Tinto. So basically, our presentation revolves around the concept of business decision making. And as you can see in the picture, decision making definitely includes some of the components that are mentioned. For example, the alternatives, the uncertainty, high risk consequences, the interpersonal issues, and the complexity. To begin with the introduction to this whole concept, the provided presentation intends to evaluate the data evaluation implication associated with the recent financial statement of the Rio Tinto Group. The presentation proceeds to argue on the corporation governance extent of the company, including sensitivity analysis features based on the gathered financial data of the company. I'd like to discuss the corporate governance argument of the Rio Tinto Group. The destruction of the Juukan Gorge caves in the Western Australia was one significant issue that caused controversy and highlighted questions about the Rio Tinto's corporate governance. Rio Tinto detonated explosives close to the revered indigenous site in the year 2020 that resulted in the irreparable harm and erasing a substantial amount of cultural artifacts of the site. As opined by Srivastava and Vidhi 2020, this incident exposed inadequate consultation with indigenous groups as well as a failure to identify and reduce hazards related to cultural asset protection. As a result, the governance structure of the corporation has made a fundamental error in regarding to their decision that they have taken of blowing up the mines. To continue with the same, as referred by Roddy and Mary, the ensuing executive reorganization and the resignation of significant executives, including the CEO of the group. It brought attention to a lack of accountability and leadership within the company, and instead of waiting for outcry and pressure from the public before responding, the board ought to have addressed the matter right away and held accountable those who were involved in taking these decisions, which turned out to be a failure and also was responsible for a huge amount of irreparable losses for the indigenous groups of the Western Australia. I'd like my friend Natik Patel to take it further from here. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Naitik Patel. Continuation, as identified by Henry Macklin and Price, the business has recently been under fire for its acquisition CEO companies, which include significant bonus and in, incentives that do not support shareholder long-term interest. See action can't doubt on the board ability to provide a just and each December plan. Continuation. Rio Tinto should put a higher priority on improving its corporate government practice to address the maintained issue. To do this, it is necessary to set up effective risk management produce so as through stakeholder engagement product setting precise performance indicator connected to environment, social and governance objective. Trying CEO companies to that application of through goal could be one way to do this. By doing this, Rio Trend can show that it is declared to good governance.
Hello everyone, my name is Akash Pokhriyal and thank you so much Natik for the previous slides. And let's begin with the new slide is features of the sensitive evolution. And as you can see, liquidity ratio. Measuring Rio Tinto's capacity to pay short-term obligations, including the current ratio and quick ratio. It is possible to gauge the effect of the liquidity ratio by changing the values of current assets like cash, accounts receivable, and investors and contracting them with current liabilities. For instance, the current ratio and quick ratio will drop if the current assets decline, or, but the current liabilities stay the same, indicating the decreased capacity to pay short-term obligations. Continuations. In efficiency ratio, the company's operational efficiency is reflected with the help of efficiency ratio such as return on total assets (ROTA) and inventory turnover ratio. Variables like net income, total asset, cost of goods sold, and inventory levels can be changed to a sensitive analysis. The ROTA and inventory turnover ratio, for instance, will probably reduce if net revenue decreases or inventory level rise, signaling a decrease in the efficiency of Rio Tinto. Continuation. Profitability ratio. By changing variables like gross profit, net profit, and revenue, sensitivity analysis can be carried out. It is possible to assess the effect of modifying these variables on profitable ratio. For instance, the gross profit ratio will drop if gross profit declines as a result of great manufacturing cost or lower selling price, suggesting less profitable for Rio Tinto. Now my friend Khemra Joshi will continue the slides. Thank you so much everyone.
Thank you, Hitesh, for giving me the opportunity to continue the presentation. And now I'm Khemra Joshi. I'm going to talk about the solvency ratios. Solvency ratios such as debt equity ratio and debt ratio, the gauge the risk and stability of Rio Tinto's finances. It is possible to evaluate the effect of solvency ratios by adjusting these above variables. For instance, the debt to equity ratio will grow if total debt rises while equity stays the same, indicating a greater reliance on debt. To talk about market performance, the statistics of Rio's value in the market include market value and return on shareholder equity. And the impact on market performance ratios can be calculated by modifying these variables. For instance, the market value and ROS will probably reduce if the market price per share drops while net income stays the same, indicating a drop in market perception and return on equity of the Rio Tintos. Thus, it can be concluded that sensitivity analysis and corporate governance procedures are both essential for any companies like Rio Tinto or any company in the world, and to assure the performance, sustainability, and financial health of Rio Tinto's business, the corporate governance and the sensitivity analysis are both important. Furthermore, Rio Tinto can provide a solid and accountable approach to financial to manage the financial attribute of the company. By fusing good corporate governance practices with sensitivity uh, analysis, we can manage the financial terms of the company. And these all the combination gives the business the ability to overcome obstacles, grasp chances, and generate long-term value for its stakeholder while preserving moral principle and promoting trust. Thank you. These are the reference list. Thank you.